Saturday afternoons were usually quiet. Lectures had ended early, and the hostel was unusually calm. Tumisha had gone out with some course mates, leaving Modupe alone in the room. She welcomed the silence. It gave her space to think. Over the past few weeks, campus had begun to feel less intimidating. Classes were becoming familiar. Fellowship had become home away from home. Even the faces around her no longer felt like strangers. Still, something inside her had changed. She noticed it every time Temitayo greeted her. Every time she heard his voice during fellowship. Every time his name came to mind without invitation. She wasn't frightened by the feeling. She was frightened by what it could become. Without thinking much about it, she picked up her phone and called the one person she trusted to understand. Her cousin, Damilola. Modupe. Damilola answered warmly. Campus girl. How are you? I'm fine, Modupe replied. You don't sound like someone who's just fine. Talk to me. Modupe smiled faintly. For a moment, she considered saying nothing. Then she sighed. I think I'm changing. There was a brief silence before Damilola laughed softly. I hope so. That's what university is supposed to do. I don't mean like that. I know, Damilola replied gently. Go on. Modupe looked out through the hostel window before speaking again. I've met people who are different. In a good way. Yes. She hesitated. There's someone in fellowship. Damilola didn't interrupt. He's respectful. Calm. Serious about God. We've barely spoken, but... She searched for the right words. I remember him. Another gentle silence. Do you like him? Damilola finally asked. I don't know. That's an honest answer. Modupe leaned back against the wall. Mommy always said I shouldn't allow distractions. And she's right, Damilola replied. But not every person is a distraction. Modupe frowned thoughtfully. I don't understand. Listen carefully, Damilola said. Your parents taught you discipline because they love you. Keep that. But don't let discipline become fear. The words settle deeply. Feelings themselves are not the problem. What you do with them is what matters. Modupe remained quiet. If someone inspires you to love God more, grow more, and become wiser, don't panic because you notice them. Just don't run ahead of God's timing. A weight lifted from Modupe's heart. So I don't have to pretend I never noticed. Damilola chuckled. You're human, Modupe. They both laughed. I just don't want to disappoint my parents. You won't, Damilola said gently. Honor them. Honor God. And guard your heart. Those things can exist together. After the call ended, Modupe sat quietly for several minutes. She replayed every word. Not every feeling needed to be rejected. Some simply needed wisdom. That evening at fellowship, she saw Temitayo across the hall. He greeted her with the same calm smile he always wore. Good evening. Good evening. Nothing more. Nothing less. For the first time, she didn't overthink the moment. She simply smiled back. Later that night, she opened her journal. She wrote slowly. I don't have to be afraid of becoming who God is shaping me to be. She paused before adding one more sentence. Wisdom is not pretending I feel nothing. Wisdom is trusting God with what I feel. Closing the journal, Modupe smiled to herself. Her cousin hadn't given her answers. She had given her perspective. And sometimes, a trusted voice doesn't change your circumstances. It simply helps you hear God's voice more clearly.